surtout les chiours. Les organisateurs, les femmes, les journalistes, en espérant que la réussite de cet événement fait un grand pas vers un avenir très fructueux pour la population de Sahara.
برنامج اليوم يتضمن مداخلات من متضامنين جانب، ومداخلات هون من حاضرين من وفود أجنبية، وكذلك في تكريم لشخصية معروفة، وفي كذلك مداخلات قلت مهمة اللي تنبث عبر البث المباشر. أول فقرة في برنامج اليوم هي تعزية، كلمة تأبينية في حق الراحلة عليا من تبريكة رحمها الله، عضو اللجنة المركزية لحركة صحراويين مجلس السلام، وأحد الأعضاء الفاعلين والمؤسسين لهذه الحركة. هذه الأخت الفاضلة اللي كانت من السباقات إلى الانخراط في هذه الحركة، وفاها الأجل المحتوم وهي تحضر لهذه الندوة، يعني بصمتها موجودة معنا في هذه الندوة كعضو باللجنة التحضيرية لهذه النسخة. أطلب منكم جميعا الدعاء لها بالرحمة، وليتفضل الأخ الفاضل والبريكة بقراءة الكلمة التأبينية.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. صدق الله العظيم. لا فعل أكثر وطأة علينا من فعل الموت، ولا خبرا يقرع مسامعنا ويفجع قلوبنا أعمق حزنا ومرارة منه. فيا لقساوته، فإنه اعتاد أن يسرق منا أحلى وأقلى أحبتنا دون سابقة إنذار أحيانا. فمنذ 64 يوما قد أطفئت شمعة عضو اللجنة المركزية لحركة صحراويين من أجل السلام عليا عبد العزيز سلامة بريكة، المعروفة قيد حياتها رحمة الله عليها بعليا الساعدي، والتي كانت من ضمن أعضاء اللجنة التحضيرية لجمعكم هذا. قادرتنا بصمت إلى الأقدار السماوية، تاركة في قلوبنا المفجعة ولكل من عرفها واستلذ بلقائها وحوارها العذب والمؤدب ذكرى عطرة ما زالت تعشعش في الأعماق. رحلت عنكم أنتم أعضاء حركة صحراويين من أجل السلام قبل أن ترحل عن والذين عرفوا فيها الطيبة وصدق السريرة ونقاء الوجدان. رحلت عنا وفارقتنا جسدا، ولكن روحها الطيبة والطاهرة مكثت فوق كل شبر وزاوية نمر بها من ربوع هذه المعمورة، وكأنها جالسة بيننا الآن تفوح روائح العطر من كلماتها وحديثها الشيق والمؤدب. رحلت تلك الإنسانة الطيبة والدؤوبة دوما لإسعاد الآخرين بإنسانيتها وطيبها، حتى إن كان ثمن ذلك تعاستها. لبت نداء ربها فأطفأ الموت شمعة كانت تنير طريق كل من احتاجها في الضيق، وأوقفت ذلك القلب الذي كان ينبط بالحنان وحب الخير للجميع. كانت رحمها الله سباقة إلى الانخراط في حركة صحراويين من أجل السلام، إيمانا منها وهي الصحراوية الأصيلة بأن حل مشكلة الصحراء بيد الصحراويين والصحراويين فقط، وإيمانا منها بأن مثل السلام والتسامح هي القالبة على لوقة الحرب وزرع ثقافة الحقد والكراهية. وأخيرا أرجو منكم الوقوف لقراءة فاتحة الكتاب على روحها الطاهرة.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم ارحمنا.
وأخيرا بصفتي كقيادي في حركة صحراويين من أجل السلام، يسعدني أن أرحب أجمل وأكبر ترحيب بضيوفنا عموما، وترحيب خاص الزعامات التقليدية شيوخ القبائل الصحراوية الذين عانوا متاعب السفر ليست من أجل الحضور فقط، وإنما من أجل إعطاء طابع الشرعية القانونية لجمعنا هذا. كل الترحيب قدمتم أهلا ووطأتم سهلا بكل ما في القواميس من كلمات وبكل ما تتضمنه الكلمات من معاني جميلة تليق بمقامكم بيننا، وشكرا.
مشكور الأخ الفاضل واللبريكة، ورحم الله الفقيدة الغالية علي بنت عبد العزيز واللبريكة. الآن مع كلمة عبر البث المباشر توصلنا بها اليوم فقط، كلمة جد جد مهمة. هذه الكلمة مسجلة، كلمة لتنسيقية مناضلي الجبهة الشعبية، للإشارة هذه التنسيقية هو تيار إصلاحي داخل الجبهة الشعبية تحرير الساقية الحمراء وادي الذهب، جبهة البوليساريو، وهذا جد مهم ويعطي تصور عن مدى ودرجة الوعي اللي وصلوا له الصحراويين والنخبة الصحراوية. نشكرهم على إضافتهم المهمة هاته لندوتنا، والتي هي أحد عوامل نجاحها بالتأكيد، ونشكرهم على جرأتهم، كما أن مشاركتهم تحقق التنوع الفكري والسياسي المطلوب في هذه الندوة. الكلمة يلقيها الأستاذ أحمد ولد لباد.
إلى الظروف القاسية والمعقدة على مختلف تواجد الجسم الصحراوي، وما تمر به كذلك قضية الشعب الصحراوي التي بات يلفها الغموض والإهمال مع الوقت، بل والتلاعب والمراوغة التي تنتهجها جميع الأطراف بسياسات قد تتداخل وتتقاطع في المصالح لجميع الفاعلين السياسيين. أيها الإخوة، نحن في تنسيقية مناضلي الجبهة الشعبية لتحرير الساقية الحمراء ووادي الذهب، هذه الفعالية السياسية التي تنشط من داخل مخيمات اللاجئين الصحراويين، نأتي اليوم لنشارك تعبيرا منا وحرصا على مصلحة شعبنا. نريد أن نتجاوز أخطاء ساستنا الذين أضاعوا الكثير من الفرص المهمة، هذه الفرص التي هدرت دون مراعاة لضعف شعبنا وقلة حيلته، بل إنه تبذير واستهتار مفرط لقدرات ومكامن هذا الشعب الذي كان أولى به أن يكون اليوم في حالات أفضل لو تمت قيادته نحو خيارات صحيحة تتماشى مع مؤهلاته وإمكاناته السياسية والاجتماعية. الإخوة والأخوات، إن ضمان مستقبل آمن ومزدهر لأجيالنا القادمة لا يتم إلا بإعداد لمرحلة جادة ومتقبلة للجميع تخدم بالدرجة الأولى مصلحة الشعب الصحراوي، وتؤسس لرؤى سياسية واجتماعية تسمح للجميع بالشراكة وتعطي الفرص مرة أخرى لحوار بناء يمنحنا إعادة صياغة مطالبنا بنضج ومسؤولية
that enables us to embrace our ambitions in full responsibility.
وربما تكون فيها فرص النجاح كبيرة، ولعلها أقرب إلى ترجمة مرام التوافق السياسي في ظل احترام الإرادة والشرعية الدولية. لكن هذا أيضا يستدعي الشفافية والتقييم الجاد للنزاع والتقدير الجيد لهذه الفرصة الثمينة التي قد لا تتوفر مرة أخرى في ظل معطيات وظروف أخرى. إن الرجوع للبدايات كما أشار تقرير الأمين العام للأمم المتحدة 2023، هذا التقرير الأخير، من وجهة نظر المملكة المغربية هي رؤية مبهمة وغير منسجمة مع المقترحات أو مقترحات المملكة، بل إنها تعكس في جوهرها نوعا من العزوف أو المماطلة نحو أي خطوة لتسوية هذا النزاع الذي ناهز النصف قرن تقريبا. يقابل هذا أيضا عدم مرونة البوليساريو ومكابرتها بمواقف لا تتماشى مع الوقائع والتحولات التي تفرض نفسها يوما بعد يوم. الإخوة والأخوات، نحن في تنسيقية مناضلي الجبهة عملنا على تحفيز هذا الرأي من أجل إثارة نقاش بناء وهادف نحو هذه المطالب، وعملنا عليها ضمن برامج وخطط عملنا السياسي، وطالبنا بفتح حوار حول الإصلاح والتغيير، وألححنا في هذا المطلب بكل الأساليب المتحضرة من رسائل وخطابات ووقفات وفعاليات، وقد عانينا من أجل ذلك الكثير، عانينا التهميش والإقصاء والعزلة، وتأكدنا من عدم جدوائية هذه المساعي، ووجهنا بعدوانية قائمة على السب والشتم والتخوين دون إتاحة أبسط فرص لنا للحوار والنقاش. حينها تأكدنا من مدى هشاشة وضيق أفق قيادة البوليساريو. فبالإضافة إلى العبثية والمزاجية والذاتية التي طبعت تسييرنا السياسي لمدة طويلة، واجهتنا العشوائية في التسيير وعدم وضوح الرؤية لدى منظومتنا الإدارية والسياسية، فتداخل القوانين والأعراف القبلية وتأثير لوبيات الفساد وسيطرة ذهنيات الماضي والتسابق نحو الامتياز والمال واحتقار النخب وإقصاء حرية الرأي وتكميم الأفواه بالدعاية والترهيب النفسي وتجنيد البلطجة من النساء والرجال واستخدام القوة في حق المعتصمين في قضايا الرأي والدفاع عن حقوق الإنسان، بل ترهيبهم والضغط على أنفاسهم بغرض العزلة بفرض العزلة وسد الأبواب أمام أرزاقهم وحياتهم. أيها الإخوة والأخوات، إن قرار العودة للحرب سنة 2020 لم يكن إلا محاولة يائسة للتغطية على الأصوات التي بدأت تطالب علانية بالتأمل في هذا النزاع، وفي الحقيقة كان قراراً أقل ما يمكن أن يوصف به أنه قرار متهور وسطحي وردة فعل مبتذلة إذا ما نظرنا إلى مدى صعوبة وجسامة مثل هذا القرار. وهذا يعيد بنا النظر إلى القرارات التي اتخذت في حق هذا الشعب المنكوب منذ بداية سبعينيات القرن الماضي، ما جعلنا نتساءل أيضا بحسرة: هل هذه قيادة مؤهلة فعلا للتكفل بمسيرتنا والأخذ بزمام مصائرنا، أم أنه تهور منا وطول أمل عقيم جرنا إلى ما نحن عليه من ضياع وشتات لأمرنا؟ إن مدة 32 عاما من التفاوض تبعث على التساؤل، ف8 مبعوثين لأمناء عامون للأمم المتحدة على اختلاف مؤهلاتهم الفكرية والسياسية وتجاربهم العملية، ها هم يخرجون من هذا النفق كما دخلوه أول مرة. فما المشكل إذن؟ في الحقيقة لم نعد ندري ماذا تريد قيادة البوليساريو من شعبها. ما نراه اليوم على الأرض يبعث على الأسف والحيرة.
It is regrettably so. There are divisions. I think these front leaders are seeking for recognition in Algeria, in Mauritania, while the local population, per se, has been left out.
Ce front du Polisario n'arrive pas jusque-là à mais les véritables
to express the major concerns of the local populations. And so those who seek to struggle against the initiatives of the front are faced with multiple obstacles on their way. So this system that is in which they actually struggle for their own needs, for their own interests. That's why we can see numerous actors actively participating in the Polisario. So that's why the future of this front is very gloomy. The front doesn't have any brighter future, and this calls for an in-depth reflection. We may ask ourselves whether the Polisario front leaders are reflecting and defending the values of our general population.
واتضح أن هذه القيادة عاجزة بصدق ولا تملك أي مقومات القيادة فضلا في التفكير أو
capable. They cannot defend the claims, defend the interests of the population of the Sahara Republic, contrary to what they pretend. So, brothers and sisters, people have been silenced as they are afraid of speaking up their minds. Everybody is demanding the end of the conflict in order to live in peace and serenity. This is within our reach. Of course, this is something that is of source of concern for our militants. So with inclusive debate, with a change in paradigm, we believe that we can achieve something. We believe that thanks to this candid expression of intentions, thanks to efforts to strengthen engagement, dialogue, we believe that we can embark on a path towards a sustainable peace. Thank you very much, Brother Ahmad Labat, who was one of the founding members of the coordination of militants. Thank you very much for your initiatives and for your move. Let's start with the second intervention, Osman Haji Baraya, former ambassador of Nigeria to the African Union and the United Nations. Mr. Osman Baraya, Haj Baraya, former ambassador of Nigeria to the AU and the African Union.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Yeah. Mr. Chairman, Excellency, the former President of Burundi, Honorable Ministers, Ambassadors here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. I stand before you today in solidarity with our brethren in the Western Sahara. I do so in my individual and personal capacity based on my personal understanding of the situation, and during my stint at various times, either as ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the Organization of American States, to the European Union, and not United Nations, as was said, and more recently to the African Union in Addis Ababa. I have been engaged into various discussions for Western Sahara, and I have, over the years of understanding. In starting, I would like to thank Dr. Haidara and his colleagues for the invitation to this very important conference and the generous hospitality my intervention to this conversation. I would like to admit straightforwardly that the gentleman that spoke before me, albeit, virtually, Brother Ahmad, has in a way made my intervention very, very simple, because he has invited our attention to the important fact that a lot still needs to be done. But at the end of the day, it's not impossible. It is within reach. All that is to be done is reconsideration, I think, of the approaches in a very consecutive format. If we reconsider all approaches, that is to say, to review what has been done perhaps in the last 50 years with a view to arriving at a mutually acceptable solution to both sides of the argument. I am equally aware of the fact that we have lost about 1 hour now. So it is my intention to make your job much easier, Mr. Chairman, by trying to summarize my position in a very limited time frame so that we can catch up as speedily as possible. In addressing the Western Saharan question, our approach should be geared towards the United Nations citizens and the African as Africans. And as a Nigerian, I would like to start by recalling the words of our first Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, where he said into earlier, Nigeria had no expansionist, ambition, and Nigeria was prepared to ensure that all African countries under colonization gain their independence as speedily as possible, immediately after attaining our own independence in the year 1960. While the United Nations has been making concerted efforts in search of a lasting solution, which resulted into various ceasefires, the African Union has fully recognized that Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic as one of its founding members. The African Union, also supports the rights of self-determination of the Sahrawi people. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have since yesterday followed the conversation with keen interest for so many reasons. It is hitherto crystal clear that all parties to this conversation, not a conflict if you like, it's a conversation because we are dialoguing continuously, over the last 50 years have now shifted positions in a very flexible manner. It's good to emphasize that there is a realization of the fact that all parties to this conversation have shifted grounds. They have opened up for discussions. The Polisario Front had just contributed to what this movement for peace is now doing. At the same time, there are beautiful proposals before us from the Republic of, from the Kingdom of Morocco. So you see, all these things were until now not possible. People were not prepared to come together and discuss. Now we are dialoguing, and it is my candid opinion that any problem that is discussed is a problem solved. It means, in essence, once there is a will, there is a way out of what seemed to be seemingly intractable over the last 50 years. Current political and diplomatic efforts should therefore continue based on consultations, dialogue, international mobilization, and actionable proposals. In addition, the consultation should be inclusive and comprise all the relevant stakeholders, such as the United Nations, the European Union, the African Union, the Maghreb Union, Spain, France, Morocco, Algeria, and Mauritania, among others. In forging positively forward in this connection, the Moroccan plan for Western Sahara, calling for Sahrawi autonomy under the auspices of the Moroccan monarch, released last year in the year 2022, could be used, in my candid opinion, as a basis for negotiations. At the same time, the Sahrawi people should be allowed to get out of the despicable situations in the camps, ensure the escalation of the conflict, and freely partake in the peaceful dialogues that would result into lasting solutions we have been urging for. In closing, I would like to remind here of certain provisions of the African Union Agenda 2063 about the Africa we want, in support of our arguments under this conversation. The agenda's second aspiration has stated inter alia that Africa will witness the rekindling of solidarity and unity of purpose that underpin the struggle for emancipation from slavery, colonialism, apartheid, and economic subjugation. By the year 2020, all remnants of colonialism will have ended and all African countries under occupation fully liberated, and affirm the right of self-determination of the people of Western Sahara. While recognizing that a prosperous, integrated, and united Africa based on good governance, democracy, social inclusion, and respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law are the necessary preconditions for a peaceful and conflict-free Africa, our leaders went further to submit, and I quote, mechanisms for peaceful prevention and resolution of conflicts will be functional at all levels. As a first step, dialogue-centered conflict prevention and resolution would be actively promoted in such a way that by the year 2020, all guns would be silent. Unfortunately, however, this was a very, very ambitious aspiration, in which the African Union expected that by the year 2020, today we are 2023, and our guns are still not silent. So efforts of this sort, I think, would assist in no small measure towards ensuring that our guns become silent by the new date of 2030 that is fixed. That is in about 7 years' time. And I think that is enough a time for us to do everything that is humanly possible to assist in bringing peace to Africa everywhere, including in the Western Sahara. Since there is no military solution to this conflict in Western Sahara, as has been clearly even stated by Brother Ahmed in his video message, I strongly believe, in tandem with the letter and spirit of my calling as a diplomat, in the efficacy of dialogue towards finding solution to the Saharan question in a peaceful manner. That is the way to go in the direction of the African we want. This is the direction to go. We want very inclusive, transparent dialogue that will bring everybody, as we are doing today. We have received messages of solidarity from the Polisario Front. Our traditional leaders are here. Our very important leaders from African continent are here. And our brothers and sisters from other parts of the world, I think from the Latin America, are also here. So if we continue dialoguing, I think there will be light at the end of the tunnel. I thank you very much indeed for your attention.
شكرا لسعادة السفير.
Thank you very much to Corporate Ambassador of Nigeria, to the African Union, Excellency Haji Baraya.
For this interview. Thank you.
like to give the floor to MP Andrew Moncton, representing Convergencia political party of Chile.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Soy el diputado Andrés Longton de Chile, del Partido Renovación Nacional.
Good morning. I'm Andres Longton. I'd like to thank the members of the High Table and the Sahrawi movement and Barakallah, a friend of mine who invited me. He is close to my own family, so it is my pleasure to be here in Africa, in Dakar, and I would also like to commend and hail those who promote peace. The Sahrawi movement for peace is actually an outstanding group, particular people, because there are some people who are trapped in refugee camps and suffering. So this requires seeking to find solutions, to find successful political solutions. So those who are victims of the conflict, so we should not normalize the suffering of the people and consider that they need humanitarian support. I would also like to thank Ahmed Barakallah, who is with us, whom I listened to with great attention. He also sent an invitation to us, to myself and my friend Raul. I'm also here with a peer MP who played an important role in the resolution of the conflict besetting Western Sahara. We witnessed astounding, appalling situations when we visited Western Sahara. We were first-hand, we saw for ourselves the situation on the ground in order to understand the life people are going through. It was also when my father accompanied me to Western Sahara, we could see the situation. So on behalf of my father, I'd like to state that the experience we witnessed in Western Sahara was very heartwarming. Western Sahara, for many years, has been marred in a conflict that might sound far away from us. However, my father and including myself, and people from the Far East in Chile, I am a human rights defender and human freedom defender. I am part of the counterpowers against the ruling class. So we struggling to we hope that there will be a legal framework that enables the marginalized people to enjoy their rights. And this Dakar meeting enables us to better position ourselves, have a better understanding and chart solutions. I believe you may the leaders can recognize in their abilities to step away from their personal interest and defend the interest of the community. The steps we have taken here will not be enough if the Sahara, Western Sahara, does not succeed in achieving autonomy. The struggle has been on since 76 or so. So the newfound path of dialogue is a good news. My father was part of the fighters who struggled for the self-determination of the Sahrawi people. We are all sons and daughters of our times. A friend of my father's, who is a Chilean and member of the Polisario Front, a staunch defender of the movement, would discuss with my father, and we would sometimes adopt positions that are far from the realities. I would also like to thank the organizers for allowing me to have the opportunity to discuss with friends who have been struggling to contribute to the promotion of peace. Thank you very much, MP Andres Longton, representing Convergencia Party. I would like to give the floor to Mr. Zakaria Usman, Ambassador of an international expert, Chad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى
I'd like to thank the organizers of this meeting. I would also like to commend the government of Senegal, which facilitated the organization of this event in this land of Teranga. I'd like to recognize my dear friend Dr. Haidara for tendering me the invitation. I'd like to recognize my dear brother and friend, former president of Burundi. He has graced the event with his presence because, as you know, Burundi is a conflict-prone zone. So somebody coming from that region does know the importance of peace. Actually, when you take the floor at the end of the process, while everybody has said it all, it is very difficult. But however, when it comes to peace, we should always find a way to make an address. I am here as an ambassador of peace. Peace is a public cross-cutting asset, a cross-cutting commodity. So I will go whatever it takes to promote peace. The political history of Western Sahara is well known, because since yesterday we have heard a lot of people talk about, mention the case. Therefore, this spares me delving into the details. All that has been said is well said, and what must be said has already been said, and what was not said has been understood, which means that we are all seeking for peace. I'd like to amplify the voices of the multiple actors who spoke before us, shared their opinions about how they perceive the ways out of the crisis by paving the way for peace. But who other than the Sahrawi people in this room are better positioned to talk about peace? Those who live in the country and from the diaspora, and who are up to date with the current news of their countries. It requires crafting out a political peace engineering. This calls into play civil society actors. Yesterday I was extremely thrilled at seeing that we do have in our societies traditional chiefdoms, traditional religious leaders who are a very important and valuable asset that we should tap into. So why do we have to reinvent the wheel and search for solutions from outside, while in our countries, in our communities, we do have some means and method we can utilize? Local stakeholders, local peacekeeping actors must realize that peace is the background of political stability of any country in the world, including the so-called developed countries. Peace is a public asset that human beings cannot do without, because it's a prerequisite for the economic and social development of a country. It is very easy to trigger war, but peace is very difficult to achieve. It takes a lot of work and a countless number of sacrifices. The paths towards sustainable peace are multiple, and as this is patterned after the contours of human realities, and thereby reflecting the difficult history and journey towards peace. Our continent is part of the regions of the world that dearly needs peace. Africa has been torn and is continuously torn apart. Before talking about Western Sahara, Africa must reconcile with herself in order to achieve sustainable peace. Inner peace is instrumental. No initiative will be insufficient, be it the African Union, whatever the different entities. Actual and genuine peace should only be community-led, from our mosques, from our homes, from our churches. This is where we should build peace from. Peace should come from within, should be homegrown. The Sahara existed before the advent of our civilization. We have Islam, we have the phrase Salam Alaikum. What does that mean? This is actually it encapsulates peace. It means peace be on you, and you say peace be on you in return. So peace should be constructed, peace should be built. Women are the guardians, the custodians of peace, because women teach young children how to behave. Women, who in this room has not been the mother of the son of a mother? Our mothers are the sources of peace. So man should not monopolize this debate. The debate on peace is not our preserve. Women do suffer. They lose husbands, they lose sons, cousins, they lose members of families. So let us not be mistaken. Women should not be silenced. They should be placed at the heart of the whole process, because I am from a nomadic community and most of our homes are led by women. When men go away in search for bread, women lead and manage homes. They are the custodians of our culture. So please, let's strive hard to place women at the heart of the process. I'm very happy. Although I can also see only one woman at the high table, I so wished I could see equal number of men and women at the high table, because they are the custodians of peace. As war can be deemed as an accident of history, peace, on the other hand, must be a vision, must be societal plan, a program, because peace is the only sustainable process, the only way out. Peace is a process that has been constructed together with all the actors involved. If you're not in peace, you cannot eat, you cannot pray, nor can you work. We do need peace because peace is vital. Reaching out to others must not be a prowess, but turning your back to others must not be a noble act. So reaching out to somebody is a sign of bravery. Talking to others is a sign of bravery. So because you do away with the egos, personal interests, and reach out to others, embarking on the road of peace and wisdom, because this is the only way. So I'd like to call on everybody, supported by the women who are our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, to speak up as the ambassadors of peace. So as we step out of this room, we must bear in our minds that women should now be portrayed as the ambassadors of peace. We believe that the political leaders have clearly understood the limitations of conflict in a given community which has been subject to violence. The roots of evil should be searched in the overlapping grievances. Accompanying a country in a long journey is a very lofty journey, a lofty mission we're taking together. In a situation of conflict, actually there is a connection between the factors that may lead to confrontation. War is the source of all evils, all the woes, is the worst of human invention. Man invented war, and war is the worst human invention ever, because wars tear apart our societies. We have the social realities that everybody know. Well, we know brutal, impossible, and horrendous consequences of war. War actually creates social divides and breaks and chasms. War actually opposes two attitudes of the spirit. For those in the name of reason will destroy old traditions, lose confidence and hope. Those, and on the other hand, those who strive to preserve and construct peace, civil society, media outlets, traditional chiefdom, traditional leaders, religious leaders, they all should represent the new transmission belt, the new lever we should utilize towards peace. Otherwise, everything will be wishful thoughts, because we know that multiple efforts have been made with the goal of reconciling the heart and the minds. Now, isn't it this should be the beginning of change. Reaching out to others amounts to reaching out to oneself, because others are me and we are others. We are not enemies. We must cooperate more in order to secure peace. Regional partners, civil society organizations will side with you, work with you, ladies and gentlemen, in order to create synergy. Peace is a public good that nobody can ignore. We must always strive to impose peace everywhere. I do believe that we shall overcome and we shall win, and I do hope that I will be able to visit Sahara Republic someday. Thank you very much. Let us all be the ambassadors of peace. Thank you very much, Excellency Zakaria Usman, Ambassador and International Expert from the Republic of Chad. In this conference, you're actually an ambassador of peace. Thank you very much. You have put the women on the spotlight.
Muy buenos días a todas y a todos. Quiero saludar muy especialmente a la mesa, a todas las autoridades que han sido nombradas en los vocativos. Quiero primeramente agradecer la invitación.
I would like to thank the MP whose name can be seen from afar. I would like to be a witness of peace for the Sahrawi Republic. I'm from the other side of the world. I am from the country of Pablo Neruda and President Allende. Literature Nobel Prize Pablo Neruda and Allende. These are the two best sons of our country who fought their whole lives to promote human dignity and peace in Chile. We are a very remote country. We have one of the most arid deserts. And today I stand here before our brothers and sisters from the Sahara Republic. And I am here at a very difficult times when peace is being questioned. I would like to provide my little contribution. To what extent and how? Because as President Allende and others said it, we need to be strong and have more courage to recognize that peace is the way to go. We need to embrace and embark on the way of dialogue and tolerance. We should be able to demonstrate empathy and the way towards fruitful dialogue. This is how we can build a stronger Sahrawi movement. A candid and frank dialogue. We could see, we were witnesses of discussions, dialogue in events where there was a lot of violence. President Allende was victim of violence while he was the president who fought for sustainable peace, but unfortunately he was not rightfully compensated for, and we hope, but we knew that the light of peace will prevail. That is why we should embrace, utilize the weapons of dialogue, peace, and concord. As observer and friend and sympathizer of the Sahrawi people, I am not a witness but a first-hand actor engaged in the promotion of dialogue between the peoples. I would like to recognize and commend the benevolence of the Sahrawi Republic for inviting a country that is poles apart from Sahara Republic and allow us to speak, to contribute to peace. Thank you very much. The MP Raul, from the Republic of Chile. Thank you very much, Mr. Raul, from traveling all the way from Chile to Senegal to take part in this conference. Malum from the university, the United Nations Peace University.
Et c'est l'UMO, l'Université des Nations Unies pour la paix.
Mr. Chairman, His Excellency, former President of Burundi, members of the Diplomatic Corps, academia here present, notables here present, heads of civil society organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Under the auspices of the Rector of the University for Peace, Francisco Roja Aravana, and the Regional Director for the University for Peace African Program, Professor Samuel Kalewusi, who, because of reasons beyond their control, would have loved to be here, I'm honored to partake in this great dynamic conference on dialogue and peace. The University for Peace, as you all know, was established by the United Nations General Assembly by the Resolution A/RES/35/55 of the 5th of December 1980 to provide humanity with an international institution of higher education for peace with the aim of promoting among all human beings a spirit of understanding, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence to stimulate cooperation among peoples and help lessen the obstacles and threats to world peace, which is more needed in Western Sahara today. Our small planet faces various threats to human survival: conflicts, human rights abuses, poverty, economic inequity, the rapid growth in the world population, environmental degradation, all have become our major concerns. Dear participants, peace implies many different things to different people. Some may identify peace as a lack of conflict of serious, any serious kind, whatever definition you give to it. Peace is a fundamental prerequisite for development at the personal, national, and international levels. Therefore, it is what we need in Western Sahara today. Therefore, it will be a great fallacy not to strive towards it. That is why the purpose of the United Nations, which I represent, as set forth in the Charter, are to maintain international peace and security, to develop friendly relations amongst nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples, the rule of the law, and development. Ladies and gentlemen, look around us today. The continent Africa is plagued with a plethora of conflicts, destroying our beautiful continent, blessed with abundant natural resources and manpower. Africa is home to some 30% of world's mineral reserves, 8% of world's natural gas, and 12% of world's oil reserves. The continent has 40% of world's gold and up to 90% of its chromium and platinum. The largest reserves of cobalt, diamonds, platinum, and uranium in the world are in Africa. Please, let's clap for Africa. It holds 65% of the world's arable land and 10% of the planet's internal renewable freshwater source. Yet, due to intrastate conflicts like what is happening in Western Sahara, stemming from diverse causes, our continent is termed the poverty hub of the world. We'll all agree that without peace, it is impossible for a meaningful development to take place. So we need it. We should advocate for it. We should be very serious about peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference, to the best of my knowledge, have shown us all the dangers of conflicts, which is ravaging our continent today, especially what is happening in Western Sahara, which is a beautiful place. I've once been there in Dakar. I enjoyed Dakar. The people, the hospitality was so good, peaceful environment, but we want to destroy it. Why? Maybe because of interest. So please, I'm advocating for peace. Ladies and gentlemen, with the huge damage in human resources and material resources, it is important for us all to put in relentless efforts to push the agenda of the United Nations. As finally put by Paul Collier, it is more costly to manage war or conflict than to prevent it. So let's put our resources to the development of our country than to provocating or propagating war. I wish to thank the organizers for the invite and hope the knowledge acquired here will bring about peace in our various communities and in Western Sahara in particular. I hope that the conference will not be a one-off, but a process for which there is a continual renewal of Africa and peace in Western Sahara, where women and children will live in peace and harmony. Human security should be the heart of the peace dialogue. Thank you all for your kind attention.
شكرا للسيدة إستر لوم ندوتون تولا من جامعة الأمم المتحدة من أجل.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Professor from the United Nations Peace University, for your address. Now we'll listen to Canada, Cambodia, Angola, and Switzerland. So we will listen to pre-recorded addresses. The important personalities for the Sahrawi movement for peace. Spain, Cambodia, Chile, Canada, and Angola. Thank you.
Hola a todos nuestros amigos del MSP. Queríamos aquí desde Canarias saludarlos.
Thank you very much to our friends from MSP. Thank you very much for this peace initiative. It's not quite audible. This, from Spain, we wish that the Sahrawi people get peace. We wish for peace. We wish you a successful event in Dakar. I would like to tender my full support to Sharif and all the organizing committee. Dear brothers and sisters, dear participants, in the international conference in Dakar. Participation in this conference seeks to promote peace, and we are very proud of that. So every action undertaken to promote peace in Western Sahara, we must recognize that the winds of change are blowing for the best interests of the Sahrawi people, and we have our dreams and our ambition. As for 3 years now, we have seen that political movement is gaining momentum, is standing up as the engine, the driving force towards peace. And we are all convinced that nobody can do anything at all in the Sahrawi issue without relying on legal institutions representing all the walks of our society. Striving to address the situation in Western Sahara can only be done through a massive commitment of the Sahrawi people, and also efforts must be made to take into account the concerns of the whole peoples of Western Sahara, in order to achieve sustainable peace. So, brothers and sisters, why not strive to solve this problem that has lasted multiple decades? It's in this very framework that the Sahrawi movement for peace took the commitment to try and surpass the obstacles, overcome the hurdles in trying to materialize the goal of the dreams of the Sahrawi people, by trying to materialize the common dream of Sahrawi people, the Moroccan dream. The Sahrawi movement for peace is not there for politicking or in the quest for perquisites or any position whatsoever. The goal of our movement is to strive to put an end to the unduly lasting, horrendous situation Western Sahara is facing. Peace can only be achieved by the actions of the brave. So this movement will contribute to promote the interests of the Sahrawi people, to fulfill the expectations of our population, our dream to lead a peaceful life. It is in this very framework that we appeal to all the people interested in our lot to support the movement, to side with this movement. And why not speak up, amplify the message, and call for tangible and bespoke solutions tailored to the realities of the Sahrawi people. We are convinced that peace cannot be done through violence. We should erect a future calling on everybody to have a say. The solution requires each and every one of us to have a say, to contribute in bringing their own building blocks. Praises to our Creator. I would like to commend you for this workshop. I'd like to commend the conference organizing committee. The second edition of the conference held in Dakar. So this conference shows that the Sahrawi movement for peace is very committed and is actually moving on the right track towards its objective, that is gathering the Sahrawi movement around the most important, enabling the Sahrawi to have a discussion framework and achieve a sustainable drive, move towards to achieve the ambitions, that is restoring peace in a sustainable fashion based on political grounds, political pillars that are adapted to our realities. The choice of Dakar to host this event is a very rightful choice, and it's an appropriate choice because Africans do share that position. We hope that the issue in Western Sahara will be solved once and for all after 50 years of crisis. This movement is welcome, and we believe that it will require synergistic efforts from all the Sahrawi people to make sure that these culminate into tangible results for the well-being and benefit of the populations of Sahara. This is a project we would like to hail and commend. We join in and commend the organizers for choosing a well-known African capital city and for inviting African brothers interested in this, in the case, and once again would like to commend the choice of Dakar to host the event. We stand with you in full solidarity, and our role here is to defend the interests of the Sahara Republic and amplify the voices of Sahrawi people everywhere across the globe and in the quest for sustainable solution. Thank you very much to all the speakers. Now we're going to go for a short break and come back to continue the deliberations.
نجلو متفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا أحبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء بالخير ومن العادة خليل أنا بيم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وبحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وبحسابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالتمجات والكرم من الأجداد وانا لك ادابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي احنا صحراويين نهجل ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء بين الخير ومنين العادة خليني بهم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وبحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وبحسابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالدمجات والكرم من الأجداد وأنا ذاك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نهجر ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء بين الخير ومن أين العادة خليني بهم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي الصحراء بالمجاد صنعتها بالتمجاد والكرمل من الأجداد وأنا ذاك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نهجل ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء بين الخير ومنين العادة خليل أنا بين حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال من شي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال من شي ما إيجابي لكن وسامناك السلام إعجابي لكن وسامناك السلام إعجابي الصحراء بالمجاد صنعتها بالتمجاد والكرمل من الأجداد وأنا ذاك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام بالكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي. بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نهجل ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء فيه الخير ومن أهل العادة خليل أنا بهم حالي شعبي محال دير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال دير أموال وحسابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي لكن وسامناك السلام إعجابي لكن وسامناك السلام إعجابي الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالدمجات والكرمل من الأجداد وأنا ذاك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. احنا صحراويين نهجر ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصيب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصيب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. السلام نختار في الصحراء بين الخير ومنين العادة خليل أنا ديم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي. الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالدمجات والكرم من الأجداد وأنا لك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي. السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي. بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نعيشوا متفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء بالخير ومنين العادة خليل أنا بيم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت رجال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت رجال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال الشي ما إيجابي أكل وسامنات السلام عجابي أكل وسامنات السلام عجابي الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالتمجات والكرم من الأجداد وأنا لك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نجلوا متفقين السلام محققين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطمي قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء فيه الخير ومن اين العاده خليل انا ذي محالي شعبي محال ندير اموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير اموال وحسابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي فينا عاشت رجال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت رجال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما ايجابي وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما ايجابي ذاك الوسان نال السلام اعجابي ذاك الوسان نال السلام اعجابي الصحراء بالمجاد صنعتها بالتمجاد والكرم من الاجداد وانا ذاك ادابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نجلوا متفقين السلام محققين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام النختير في الصحراء بين خير ومنين العادة خليل أنا بيم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي لكن وسانينات السلام إعجابي الصحراء بالأمجاد صنعتها بالتمجاد والكرم من الأجداد وأنا لك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نهجر والتمام جابي نصيب معاهقين لركابي وكتابي نصيب معاهقين لركابي وكتابي السلام بالكلام بسنتي خطابي بسنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دينيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي دنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام النختير في الصحراء بين خير ومنين العادة خليل أنا بيم حالي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي شعبي محال ندير أموال وحسابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الأجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي وفتر لسان الحال مشي ما إيجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي لكن وسامنات السلام إعجابي الصحراء باللمجات صنعتها بالدمجات والكرم من الأجداد وأنا ذاك أدابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نعيشوا متفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصيب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصيب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام بالكلام سنتي خطابي سنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام أحبابي وترابي السلام شعبي محال ندير اموال وبحسابي شعبي محال ندير اموال وبحسابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي فينا عاشت الاجيال على شي ما ينقال فينا عاشت الاجيال على شي ما ينقال وفتر لسان الحال من شي ما ايجابي وفتر لسان الحال من شي ما ايجابي اكل وسامنات السلام اعجابي اكل وسامنات السلام اعجابي الصحراء بالامجاد صنعتها بالتمجاد والكرم من الاجداد وانا ذاك ادابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي وترابي يزاد وهي بالترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي احنا صحراويين نهجر ومتفقين السلام محقين السلام جابي السلام جابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي نصب معاهدين لركابي وكتابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي صحراوي دنيتي تخدم وطنيتي هذه هي نيتي بترابي يا احبابي وعن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي عن خاطري قنيتي بالسلام النبي بالسلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي السلام نختار في الصحراء فيه الخير ومن اين العاده خليل انا ذي حالي شعبي محال ندير اموال وبحسابي شعبي محال ندير اموال وبحسابي السلام في الكلام السنتي خطابي السنتي خطابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي كان يعم السلام احبابي وترابي
مداخلات عبر البث المباشر من بعض الدول عبر العالم، من كندا، فرنسا، إسبانيا، كمبوديا، سوازيلاند، أنغولا، وكلهم متضامنين مع حركة صحراوي من أجل السلام.
Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant, il y a des interventions des personnalités exprimant leur solidarité avec le mouvement sahraoui de la paix, depuis l'Espagne, la France, Canada et Angola.
Bruno Bodard, je suis le président élect de l'association Les plus belles baies du monde et le cofondateur de cette belle organisation internationale. Nous soutenons le mouvement pour la paix qui est très important pour la cause sahraoui que ce peuple a souffert, et nous soutenons.
Mon nom c'est Michel Bugeaud, je suis de la baie du Chaleur au Canada. Je suis le président sortant, le past president du réseau international de l'Association des plus belles baies du monde. Et mon ami Mohamed Chérif m'a parlé de la conférence sur la paix qui va avoir lieu à Dakar ces jours-ci. Et puis je vous assure que je suis d'accord et puis j'appuie fortement le sens du congrès, qui est un congrès qui se veut un congrès de la paix. Et puis Dieu sait si la paix est importante pour tout le monde au travers de notre planète. Et puis je souhaite un grand succès à ce congrès que vous avez organisé.
Je m'appelle Eric de Magalhães et je tiens à soutenir et à féliciter toutes les initiatives qui apportent de la paix au peuple sahraoui.
Bonjour, Lionel Parisé, les Sables d'Olonne en France. Je soutiens le mouvement de paix pour les Sahraouis, parce qu'effectivement, il n'y a rien de plus important que la paix entre les peuples, entre les différentes populations du Sáhara Occidental.
The populations of Western Sahara, and I bid every success to the Congress. I am a tourist organization manager, and I would like to provide my full support to the Sahrawi people and the movement for peace in seeking to put an end to war and relieve the populations. And from where I speak, I'd like to pledge our full support, hoping that the event will pave the way for a brighter future where the whole world will be able to live in peace. All the brothers and sisters taking part in the international conference and all the activities organized here in the capital city of Senegal being a brother and a neighbor country. I so wished I could take part in this conference, but unfortunately I couldn't make it for the second time in a row, as I've not been able to take part in the event in person. I'd like to share a couple of words to summarize my ideas. The conference organized this year So after these interventions, now let's hear the live intervention by Professor Al-Arbo, who is a human rights defender and director for the Center for Peace Studies. Welcome to the brothers and sisters to this conference, and I would like to commend the activities organized in Senegal, which is a neighbor and sister country. I so wished I could take part in the event in person, but unfortunately I've not been able to travel to Dakar, and unfortunately the second time in a row that I missed the event of Dakar. I would like to state a couple of words to summarize, because this conference, these gatherings are held in this year in very difficult conditions, and the whole world is beset with crises, multiple crises. The European continent, for example, is faced with a severe crisis for some years now, and that since then Europe hasn't witnessed so severe crisis since World War II. The southern part of our country is beset with multiple forms of crisis, but in addition to that, what's going on in our Arab Islamic world, and especially in the Middle East, we see what's going on. So this general situation actually underscores the importance of amplifying the message of peace. So we should spare no effort to promote peace in our different communities, and your movement is part of the movements that are struggling for peace. So the rule and the spirit of the rule of law all the calls for peace, the actions for peace, the fact of addressing the case of refugees, all these are very lofty causes, very noble causes that we should strive to amplify. That's actually what we need, developing such initiatives, struggling to strengthen the spirit of cohesion, because whatever the case, our goal is to achieve a prosperous future for ourselves, for our children and our grandchildren. That is actually the most important, striving for peaceful solutions, and also building bridges and avenues to promote our commonalities, our common grounds. And I can see that your movement is involved, it's embarked on such a path. We do need similar initiatives. Everybody must get committed. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Arbola, who is a human rights activist and the director of the Center of Strategic Studies and Peace. Now, floor over to Professor Ibrahim, who is a human rights activist in Mauritania. My name is Koril Ibrahim. I am a human rights defender, human rights activist from Mauritania. My intervention will be summarized and touch on three core items. First of all, I'd like to commend the Sahrawi movement for peace for tendering me this invitation, for enabling me to participate in this international conference for dialogue and peace. Actually, in Mauritania, we view ourselves as Mauritanians, so we thank you very much for the invitation. The second point I do recognize that I have learned a lot. I've met with a multiple profile of people who have received high-end, trustworthy, reliable information, and from the interventions I have learned a lot. This helps to clarify, to give me a clearer vision. So as a human rights activist, the French people say that actually what you are doing, I think that is the right choice. Your approach is the right one. If we were to analyze the situation, a cause that has been going on for 60 or 50 years, it is appropriate to take to pause and assess the journey so far. So I think that your approach is very important. So the good news is that from my experience, we have seen that usually there are indicators. So if we find ourselves in a struggle for a fair cause, there are indicators that shows that this event is successful. The presence of women is a sign that this event has been successful. Anytime we have to defend a cause in Mauritania and see female turnout, it is the sign that this event is successful. Thank you.
شكرا 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 للأستاذ الكويت.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ibrahim, a human rights defender and activist, human rights activist in Mauritania, will proceed our interventions with Mohammed Al-Wad, who is the member of the Sahara Movement for Peace.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أخواتي والإخوة.
The brothers and sisters, in the movement, I assume that unity is the background. Women are our mothers, our wives, and our sisters. We must always involve them in the activities. So we are very proud and happy to see them join us. They can also speak, they can also take the floor. My name is Al-Wad Ould Muhammad is my name. I heard some people who used to be members of the Polisario Front. I could also see that I was disappointed by the attitudes and behavior of the front. So be it in Spain or in Morocco or elsewhere, I always speak my mind. So this conference, I heard a lot about our movement. The movement is well known, and the organizers, the conveners of this event, Haj is well known. So he's a brilliant person, and I do not actually sweet talk or sugarcoat my addresses. I always speak my mind. Therefore, I'm very happy to command the organizers, the people from Sahara, say that the camel deserves honor. We also honor our traditional chiefdom. Our traditional chiefdom represent tribes which are known in Sahara. They represent entities. May God bless you and reward you accordingly. I also would like to amplify the message of Sheikh Hassan. Now, the second point I'd like to address, I saw multiple human rights activists, so I saw multiple human rights violations. So I'd like to call for a joint effort to denounce crimes perpetrated by the Polisario front, because we saw a lot of evil. We saw a lot of abuses and acts of violence perpetrated by the Polisario front. So we've heard of, we listened to this pristine, clear, and candid message. So, brothers and sisters, for 30 years we have seen very good things, good tides as part of our relationship with Morocco. I would like to also avail myself of this opportunity, avail myself of the presence of ambassadors and human rights defenders. As I have the opportunity to speak, I'd like to launch an appeal. The one called Sidi Ul Gagak, he was actually I would like to thank him. Thank you very much, Brother Muhammad, for your intervention. Now let's give the floor to Sister Saadati Mahmoud, speak on behalf of the women of our movement. She will be speaking English. Saadani Mahmoud. Women are always in part of the event.
Mr. Secretary General, Your Excellencies, Mr. Haidara, Mrs. Esterlem, Sheikhs, movements, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. حللتم أهلا ونزلتم سهلا. This is Saadani talking. On behalf of myself, as a movement, Saharauis for Peace, and member, and on behalf of all the movement ladies, I would like to thank each and every one of you in our way. Please, ladies, let's clap for our guests. For being here with us, supporting and believing in our goal, and are accompanying us. There, all of you. This is Sound Talks. Well, I don't want to take too much for your attention. Need to leave some others to express our appreciated about it. Yes. Okay. And so, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you again. We appreciated your efforts. I would also to mention Dakar hospitality for the warm reception. Thereof, have a blessed day. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
شكرا للأخت.
Merci beaucoup, Sandani Mahmoud. Thank you very much, Sandani Mahmoud. She made this address on behalf of all the women of the Sahrawi movement for peace. Thank you very much, Sandani, for your bold stance and for speaking up on behalf of the women, the Sahrawi women in favor of peace. Now, we would like to pay tribute to somebody who has been instrumental, Miguel Ortiz, represented by Professor Esparza. Presentation by Professor Esparza on behalf of Professor Miguel. This is to salute the memory. I do apologize because I felt very hot and I feel a bit dizzy. For allowing us, thank you very much for allowing us to be here and participate in this Peace and Dialogue event. We held the same event in the Canary Islands about a year ago. We benefited from the support of erstwhile ambassador. Fortunately, our ambassador was not able to travel here, nor was his son able to travel because their mother is sick, and therefore we feel very sad for that. So, this being said, I'll try and be as short as possible to state that it is an honor for me to speak about so great a man. He has been Colonel Ortiz, was an extraordinary man, and we've been witnesses of colonized Sahara, and we also witnessed the rise of the state around the 69 and 60s. In the 70s, I traveled back to my country around 1980, and from there I had the opportunity to meet with Colonel Ortiz as a person. There's something that binds us together. That's our love, our reciprocal love for the land of Sahara, the Western Sahara. So since then, we have been relentlessly supporting the state, the people of Sahara, anytime they called on us, be it socially or politically. Myself as a professor, I have very happy memories. The professor's children also benefited from our support where needed, and we actually defend, we do not focus on the, so which we're expressing the Conference for Peace. When the movement for peace was created, we had we felt very great joy, immense joy. Unfortunately, there were some challenges due to some attempts to break the wings of the event, of the movement, members were incarcerated as a result of that. Sympathizers were also incarcerated. So a lot was done to disorganize, to break down the organization from the onset. Some organizations which did not denounce human rights, breaches of human rights, Algeria and Morocco, which were defending their interests instead of defending the economic interests of Western Sahara, especially not defending camps beset with multiple types of challenges such as hunger and disease. The Sahrawi movement for peace is an opportunity for me to show our support to MSP, and we do hope that this newfound way, with trusted and reliable way, will lead us to sustainable peace. And I hope that in the near future the Sahrawi people will be able to live in peace and development. We shall always treasure the memories of our times together. Thank you very much to Professor Esparza for this presentation meant to pay tribute to so great a man that was Mr. Miguel Ortega. We'd like to present him with a present. We would like to present him with a reward. The reward is handed over to Professor Esparza.
J'ai envoyé à vous.
الآن مع كلمة
So we are going to call Mr. Mbatlo from Senegal for a speech. Assalamu alaikum. I am a mayor in the north of Senegal. Of course, I work with the Prime Minister, but I'm not here as a representative of the government, but as a friend of Dahala, a friend of Morocco. I can say that Abdul Aziz, who is here, is my friend. Every day he sends me some messages. He prays for me all the time. So when he told me he was here, I didn't hesitate to come and join. I have to say that I already visited Dakhla, which is a very nice town. I would like to live there and spend the rest of my life with them. I thank the government of Morocco for the different efforts that were made to develop Dakhla and Morocco and Sahara, and I want to congratulate you and commend your good deeds. So our friend Senegal is our friend, sister country, and we always welcome here. Thank you, Mr. the Mayor, Mubarak Lo from Senegal. We will continue with the intervention. We hand the floor to Mrs. Fatima Tuzana. In the name of God, the most merciful, I am a member of the Central Commission of the Sahrawi Movement for Peace. I am the deputy, and I'm an activist, human rights activist in the associations for the development of Sahrawi women. I would like to thank the MSP, which is headed by Mr. Barakallah. We are thanking also the organization commissions for the big efforts that were made. They did a very big job, and this is a successful conference. And we thank also the leaders, the sheikh, the guides of the Sahrawi tribe, and we wish or we pray that they have a long life. The unique solution that we have is really so auto-determinations, or we have to be independent and try to manage things by ourselves. So the crisis is very serious, and we have to be self-driven. I would like to thank the King Mohammed VI for the effort he's making in the South areas, the development project, the economic project, the political project, and also social projects that are implemented in the South area. We have this kind of lack of freedom from the people who cannot move everywhere, and this is the right. The right of movement is a real right. So we women of this area, we need more freedom. We also thank the MSP for really enabling to exercise, to organize this event and give the opportunity to women and men to express their opinion. I am giving the floor to Imam Kalash. So he is a member of the Sahrawi Movement for Peace. You're welcome, and I greet you, all of you, dear brothers and sisters. I was surprised. I really was not prepared to take the floor today, but as this is an opportunity, I will take the floor. So welcome to everyone. We thank all the participants, whether they are ambassadors, former presidents, the sheikhs or the guides, the activists, all the participants. We thank you for your participations into this event that is epitomizing a long journey. So what is easy is to start a war, to start a conflict, and the most difficult thing is to build peace between or among people. So and this is the case of Western Sahara. So people who hear us directly and those who are following online, we want to share this message of peace, this message to finish this crisis, which has lasted more than 50 years, and 3 generations have experienced such a crisis. Dear ladies and gentlemen, from Dakar, the town of hospitality, we ask the world that they get together, they shake hands for sustainable peace, a peace that will never finish. And to finish, I would like to thank all the organizers of this event who work without a lot of noise, whether they are members of the movement or any other person who really did something for the success of this event. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Imam Mukmash. He is responsible for the aid commissions of the movement. So we are going to give the floor to Mrs. Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum.
Good afternoon, everyone. In the name of God, the most mercifully, we welcome our Sheikh, the different participants. I am Aisha Ibrahim. I am member of the commission of the movement, and I am proud of being member of this movement. So welcome to this event. I'm not specialist of official speech, but I just want to say you welcome, dear Sheikh, dear guides. We have seen what you have done, and we are very happy to see you here among us. So you are here to support us, and we respect your status, high status. You are the one guiding us onto the right path. You have been a witness of 5 generations. You have been fighting all your life for us to live in peace. So we are seeking benedictions from you. You respect women, you respect young people, you respect everyone, because you know those who do not respect the young people will not respect the old or the adults. So I just, as the Secretary General said, the steps in front of us, the empowerment of women, the rights of women, I'm sure that you are going to be the voice of women. So I am trying to speak to you. I consider you are my brothers, you are my sisters. I am with my beloved. I would like women to have the opportunity to participate, to take part in this project, to be very active for this initiative in peace. You know that war is not the good way to follow. We want to put an end to this conflict. 50 years of difficulties, it's enough. We want to change. So thank you very much, and I'm sorry for my words, which are not really, I know I'm not a good speaker. Thank you for our sister Fatima. We are going to hand the floor now So Aisha did not prepare any speech. It was really a natural speech, speaking from the heart, and she is part of the big family. So we're going to give the floor to the Network for the Development of Mauritania, which will be given by the director Seydou Noura Limi from Mauritania. In the name of God, the most merciful, this is a network, development networks for Mauritania that are working with the United Nations as well as United African Union. We are aware of the fact that the peace principles are essential, and the Sahrawi movement for peace is working for achieving peace. And here in the network for the human development, we hope that our work will be the key for opening the door to a sustainable peace. Our network is our networks complies with the international laws, and also we are encouraging the different efforts for peaceful negotiations and also some agreements that are signed in order to enable the Sahrawi populations or people to know development as well as peace. This movement has already organized the first conference, and this is the second one. We really would like to thank you for the efforts, especially the organizers. Thank you very much. So Noura Delaimi's speech, now speaking for the network, the United Network for Human Development. Now we're going to present a book which is a kind of gift to the first Secretary General of the MSP. So this is the second book published, Remember Dakhula, which is Dakhula. So the microphone is not working. So the 4 parts of this document are dedicated to the fight in the Sahara areas, and that will be presented by the first Secretary General of the movement. So this is a gift to the Secretary General of the movement. Thank you very much, Professor. And now we are going to listen to the final speech that will be read by President Haidara, President of the Center for Strategic Intelligence. So, Dr. Haidara.
Alaikum. Nous allons vous lire donc la déclaration de Dakar.
The Declaration of Dakar of the Second International Conference for Peace and Dialogue in Western Sahara. The Sahrawi Movement for Peace, known as MSP, organized in collaboration with the African Center for Strategic Intelligence of Dakar, the second international conference for peace and dialogue in Western Sahara on October the 27th and 28th, year 2023. This time, the venue was the capital city of a great country, which name and the peoples have been a reference and a beacon of democracy, tolerance, coexistence all across the African continent. Senegal, with its glorious past and the bright present, remains a beacon of human values, as seen in the weight and prestige that Senegal enjoys in this 21st century, and this is also seen in the poetry and universal craft of our poet President Senghor. This drive actually set the tone for the pre-colonial Africa. This is an inheritance that inspires the Sahrawi people, that encourages us to dream and struggle for a prosperous and peaceful future. 3 years ago, the MSP started the journey in the heydays of the pandemic, that pandemic that torn apart the whole world. However, the founders and militants of the movement decided to go an extra mile with a strong sense of faith, and based on the necessity to look for a peaceful solution to the conflict, far from the noise of weapons. This led us to the dark tunnel in which we have been pushed by international and political interests. In view of this, numerous Sahrawi people decided to join us and foresee a new beacon of hope that they'd like to embrace, firmly convinced that there is no other way than controlling their own destiny and future than doing that. The journey is only starting, and as it was said last year in the manifesto of Canary Islands, we're all convinced that in order to achieve our goals, we ought to draw a clear dividing line between our destiny from radicalism and destruction, and leave behind us the dark memories and deep, bitter memories of a journey towards nowhere on which we embarked about 50 years ago. We, the Sahrawi people, cannot relapse in fatality. Our future is in our hands, and it is up to us to turn it into a reality. In so doing, we have to face adversity and challenges with a strong sense of common sense and pragmatism. During the conference of the Canary Islands, we actually saw the grains of hope and optimism. We decided to put behind us wishful thoughts by only banking on the most plausible solution, that is that of solving the issue in a peaceful fashion with the Kingdom of Morocco, bringing together all the Sahrawi people, including those who are poles apart in terms of opinions. The celebration of the second edition of the International Conference for Peace and Dialogue in Dakar, marked by the presence of a strong delegation of traditional chiefdom from Sahrawi country. This institution, known for its prudent approach and wisdom, means that we are actually on the right track. We would like to express our full gratitude to each and every one of you, and call on our elders and Council of Elders and the wise to accompany us towards the future of prosperity and tranquility. We would also like to commend all the political leaders and experts from all over Africa, Latin America and Europe who joined us in this journey. I would like to state that their presence shows that our message for peace and our message against war is hearkened all across the world. Through the political parties institutions and governments, we would like to call upon you to request for full support for peace, cohesion, and concord that ought to prevail among the peoples across Africa from north to south. We have taken note of the suggestions and advice provided by the elders and the conservators who took the floor. We started the journey in April 2020 when we decided to found the MSP. But in order to fast-track the process, we believe that it is instrumental to promote multiple initiatives wherein the unabated travel towards the end of the conflict will be shorter. The sufferings of war should be interrupted. Supporting the Sahrawi movement for peace and buttressing its efforts to consolidate peace is the best third alternative, as portrayed by its clear-cut roadmap. It's in support to its moderate approach, its realistic approach, in order to come up with a peaceful solution to this conflict without losers or winners. We must all convince those who are reluctant and still involved in guerrilla, pushing young, desperate young people towards war and to face war. Would like to appeal to them to refrain from such ways which are suicidal. Polisario Front, that we invited to this conference, rejected our invitation for the second time in a row. Our call for dialogue, thereby forgetting that the single parties are part of the relics of the past. We would like to create African platforms, the African platform for peace in Africa, involving high-ranking authorities, high-ranking personalities, intellectuals, politicians, experts from all over the world, to support the institutions of the African Union and the United Nations. We would also like to rally support in Europe and in Latin America in order to position our movement as a third alternative and chart our way towards a peaceful solution to the conflict. We would like to urge the General Secretary of the United Nations to talk to his special envoy to make sure that the Sahrawi movement for peace is included in its peaceful approaches, including the traditional leaders of Sahrawi represented by the notables and the sheikhs who are here. I would like to call upon the governments of influential countries, especially the United States of America, Spain, the European Union, to recognize the Sahrawi movement for peace as a key mouthpiece and spokesperson in the quest for a peaceful solution to the problem besetting Western Sahara. We advise to the special envoys in Sahara, Stefan de Mistura, we advise him to explore other avenues and democratize the political process by involving other actors, the new political streams, traditional representatives of traditional chiefdom and civil society organizations. Would like to hail the initiative of the creation of the Sahrawi Commission for Peace and Dialogue that stems from this Dakar conference, composed of representatives of different political streams and notables and chiefdom from the territory of Sahara, and also representatives of refugee camps. It is worth noting that the creation of this commission was one of the proposals from the conference held last year in Las Palmas, in the Canary Island. It is therefore important to turn it into action. We would like to request the Moroccan authorities that if the peaceful efforts made by Stefan Mistura do not succeed, We urge them to open avenues for dialogue and peace with Sahrawi movement. It means that commission cannot wait but be set in motion and keep it up and running. Would like to commend the Senegalese authorities of the African Center for Strategic Intelligence for the collaboration and for the support to the smooth organization and rollout of the conference, which recommendations will be reflected into what is now called the Dakar Declaration. Dear friends, these are the pillars on which we ought to build the future. The future against those who utilize their voices to maintain the flames of conflict burning, thereby exacerbating divisions and misunderstandings in families. We'd like to launch an appeal to the people on the other side. We'd launch an appeal to everybody to join us on the journey of peace. We said it last year and we repeat it again to state that our history is marked by adversity. It is a history of collective effort, the effort of Sahrawi people who have every reason in believing that they still have time to put an end to this woe before this woe claims their lives. We have the power to make this change possible. It is the onus is on us to materialize it. So make this should be a future, a plan for a brighter future. Done in Dakar on October the 28th, second conference for dialogue and peace.
الله.
رجاء الجميع الهدوء، ما ترينا بطاولة لنوفذ. قعدونا الله يخليكم. قعدونا الله يخليكم. قعدونا. قعدونا.
شوف لا ديروا بعد هذا. وديروا هذا. شيوخ عبد اللطيف صور ما فاد يحصل بعد صور
وانا شفيدي لها الانفير فيها ما عندي ليش الحاج خلي عنه
لا ما احمد ماشي هذا هو
امال قالوا على
التزام الهدوء في القاعة باش نرفعوا الجلسة. الرجاء أخذ أماكنكم في القاعة باش نرفعوا الجلسة. الرجاء أخذ أماكنكم في القاعة باش نختتموا الجلسة.
S'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs, on n'a pas encore terminé. S'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs, on n'a pas encore terminé. Il reste seulement...
الرجاء أخذ أماكنكم في القاعة باش ننهوا الجلسة. وصلنا اللحظة هذا الخبر: اعتقال الناشط السياسي الأخ هماد والعينة بالمخيمات، ونندد باسمكم جميعا وصلنا الخبر هذا الخبر العاجل الآن: اعتقال الناشط السياسي الصحراوي هماد والعينة بالمخيمات، ونندد بهذا الاعتقال باسمكم جميعا، الذي يعتبر تماديا في سياسة تكميم الأفواه والعودة إلى النظام الشمولي البائد.
Dear brothers and sisters, on behalf of the name of the movement, the Sáhara Movement for Peace, to thank all the people who attended this conference. Thank you, Mr. the First Secretary General of the Sahrawi Movement for Peace, and we congratulate you for the good organization of this event. Thanks also to our sheikhs, the different religious guides that attended. Thank to the people who organized, as well as the women and journalists, hoping that the success of this event is one step to a bright future for the population of Sahara. Thank you to everybody for your attention. After the wrap-up session, we are going to have a kind of picture of photo session. We thank everybody for the participation and also for helping us to succeed as organization of this international conference for peace. We thank His Excellency, the former President of Burundi, the member of the parliament, as well as the ambassadors of Africa and Latin America. We would like to thank the African Center for Intelligence, Strategic Intelligence. I want to name Dr. Haidara. We are thanking also the different religious guides, the traditional guides, the sheikh of the Qabail, of the different groups in the Sahara, of the different tribes in the Sahara. On these words, I am going to wrap up this very interesting event for the Sahara. Peace upon you, everyone.
بصاصير من غادي عليه بصاصير